So, good morning. I wanted you guys to take out time to look at the presidential debates for a couple of reasons. One, because I've said before, we can't play in the game if we're not in the game. So this is what happened from my last posting, is that I got a lot of people caught on semantics, and that's the word I'll use for now. Semantics as it relates to getting caught on the words African American or caught on the words LGBT community. These type of things kind of set some of you off. There is a bigger picture here, and so we could stay, or you could stay in that space where you can quibble about the semantics of certain labels that you don't particularly like me making. But ultimately, what needs to be understood, and to make a global change, there needs to be global participation. Period. And then I'm not going to re-talk about that. If you choose not to understand global participation in terms of making global change as it relates to racism, sexism, and all the other isms that come with that, you don't have to listen to me. I'm okay with that, because I realize not everybody's going to be about the movement. Some people, they just throw in to do these little snide remarks here and there, but they have no actual positivity or change going on in their own lives. So the best thing that they can do is be a rotten apple, which, has an effect to affect the other apples. I'm not that kind of apple. So what I'd like to talk about is what I got from Facebook mostly, not so much from Twitter, is that, I didn't watch it, or, which is fine. You don't have to watch it necessarily when I watch it. But I really got a lot of people uneducated about the process of it, and that saddens me as an educator, and definitely as a person speaking about the importance of diversity, because as I said in my last video, the reason why I am a proponent for it is because I understand the infiltration of it as it relates to systematic racism. So if you don't understand the process of it, and I don't want to teach a civics class, that's something you should have already taken. Let me just say this, why you should give a damn, is because whoever is president will choose the judicial courts, meaning Justice Clarence Thomas and the other justices. And you think that you might have had difficulty now. You can't even describe the difficulty that you will have once the justices are chosen, and they now have 50 years worth of power to make decisions over your civil liberties. Okay, you can see that now as it relates to voting and the restrictions. Personally, if you're an American citizen, there should not be any restrictions as it relates to voting. Now, I don't, again, want to get into a debate back and forth with, the voting system. Listen, at this particular time, we can have that conversation afterwards. What we need to do as a group of conscious people is to make those whom we elect responsible. And we need to make them responsible in the same way you see other groups making them responsible. I said in my last video that the African American, we invented the playbook as it relates to civil rights, but we haven't upped the game. So when you look at those who've upped the game, you can look at the LGBTQ community. They have upped the game. They've taken the playbook and did a phenomenal job as it relates to not only galvanizing, but galvanizing politically, economically, and socially. Where if you say anything against them, it's a rainstorm of what you will deal with. And that is how we need to move. Collectively, we need to move that way. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Please, conscious people. So by now, those who are unconscious have already tuned out. So bye. But for the conscious people, right now we have Loretta Lynch, correct? I don't need to say what Loretta Lynch's job is. You should already know what Loretta Lynch's job. But I, as a voter, contacted my senator to make sure that she was put into office as Attorney General. And to me, she's doing an absolutely horrible job. Why? Because again, here you have a person of color, a woman at that, and you still have these ongoing horrific things happening as it relates to the militarization of police on African American men and women. And I don't see her doing anything about it. I see and hear the investigations, but I don't see her doing anything about it. As you know, there was a young African American man who was killed, murdered, and put in a mat, and somehow the Justice Department didn't find any evidence to show that he didn't do this himself. I mean, it's getting to a point now where my 13-year-old was like, well, how was he able to kill himself and wrap himself up? And the Justice Department didn't see anything. So here's what I'd like us to do as conscious people who respect our vote and who don't give it away freely. That's another topic we can have about how we give away freely. You know, you play a trombone or you can play a saxophone and eat some chicken and we all happy for. You're going to have to do way more than that. In order to sustain my vote, in order to get my vote, you're going to have to do way more than that. So what I suggest is that you use your email. You email Loretta Lynch. You call Loretta Lynch's office. I wouldn't tell you something to you that I haven't done. And I do it, and I've committed to do it on a weekly basis. But I'm one person. Imagine if everyone who heard this, as a conscious purchase, said, I realize the game. And in order to play the game, I realized, Loretta Lynch, we put you in office. We helped you with our senators to make sure that you would get in. Now you're going to work for us. And how you're going to work for us is, there was this march, if you didn't know, there was a small march of African American congressmen and women senators who went to her office and handed her a letter as to the work that they wanted her to do that they didn't think she was accomplishing. So what? I can't. But if everyone who hears this, the sound of my voice, they say that in church, right? If everyone who hears this at the sound of my voice would call and email her and say, as an African American, as a Latino, as an LGBTQ community, as a special needs person, and all the other ethnicities, as a European American, I no longer am tolerating the fact that the federal government is not doing anything as it relates to Black lives, and I want it to change now, and what are you going to do about it? This idea that I'm giving you is a cultural idea. How do I know? Because as an educator, I have kids in the school system of Pelham, which is one of the top schools in New York. And so how do parents deal when their children do poorly? Well, they look at the teachers and they say, well, if my child is failing, what are you doing? What do you need to do to fix the problem? In our culture, we go, well, why are you not doing your homework? Well, didn't you do your homework? You wasn't supposed to do it. Oh, you're dumb. You're this, you're that. No. Start playing the game. And then after you learn the rules of the game, revamp it. And that's my message to you this morning. So I know I'll have people who will say, I don't know the number to Loretta Lynch. So what I'm going to do is stay posted. I'm going to put the number up. I mean, I'm talking to you now, so I can't very well give you the number. But I guess I could have written on a piece of paper. But I know people are going to ask. So I'm going to put it in the comments section. I'll put the email too. Start to change your mind culturally, spiritually, as it relates to your worth, the worth of your children, the worth of your vote, and the worth of your future. They created hopelessness in you for a reason. But as powerful people people as you are, you have allowed over a period of time for this seed of hopelessness to bear bad fruit. So let's cut it down. Let's move on and upward, and let's do what we need to do to be successful. And this message is not just for one particular group, because I understand in order to make a political and economic change, I am calling on everyone to do this. And I do understand everyone would be the conscious ones, okay? I do understand that after watching this video, there will be some who will give me comments about, you can't vote, it's not part of the system. I can't live in that world. I can't live in the world of it's coming, we're not this. I'm living in the world right now that says Black Lives Matter. We are being killed. How is the game played? The game is played through the justice system. How can we move the justice system? We can have another conversation about marching in the streets. I think that'll be the next one coming up. But right now, I need for us to make Loretta Lynch responsible and accountable. Don't they make you that at your job or your career or as an entrepreneur? Aren't those key words for you? Responsible and accountable? Shouldn't we make our elected officials responsible and accountable to us? But if you're not in the game, you can't do anything but complain about it. And at this point, I'm tired of the complaints. But I understand that if we galvanize and move as one, we can change shit. So, have a powerful day, people. This was only 11 minutes and 56 seconds of your life. But this could be monumental for the lives of your children. Peace. Please share. Please share. That's another thing. I don't want to always have to go, share. Please share. Please share. Please share. The same way you shared when y'all send me these videos, and I share too, with the cat lying down on the car and the dog chilling with the 45 puppies. Same way you share that is the same way you should share this. And I will give you the number to Loretta Lynch. Powerful people, have a powerful day.